From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of mornings LALATE to the moon. The toast is toast and the butter is butter, and I'm here, you're here, and I have the latest update about your fourth stimulus check, that multiple stimulus checks that start in the month of July, a series of major developing details breaking this morning, hence I'm on camera a little bit early. You're going to be surprised with the breaking developing details. New indication about Americans not supporting touching the corporate tax rate, a new poll and a new push from VP Harris to try to get corporate alliance for the fourth stimulus package. I'll have all the details. Meantime, the private payroll numbers came in and it signals we need stimulus ASAP. The numbers were not good, missing Wall Street's estimate. Fourth stimulus also got a major push today as the mortgage applications dropped significantly. And then a corporate race to the bottom remains the push from Janet Yellen for world countries to all agree upon the same corporate rate, and they're saying no. Fourth stimulus is that monthly stimulus check that would pay you the biggest payout in the month of ever since this channel existed, starting the month of July. But what is also causing a potential massive payout? Dogecoin. And in this recording, I'm going to analyze why the events of the last 7 hours are making people a lot of concern and a lot of worries that something's about to burst. Dogecoin is now up to 70 cents. Now, in just the last few hours, it was about 1 cent just a few weeks ago. I have all the details about what's happening from Wall Street to Main Street, from my home to your home, from crypto to no crypto. This is a major recording, and this is Mornings LALATE. You are doing well. I have in this recording your fourth stimulus check update of 2021, the monthly stimulus checks that start in the month of July. The big money from third stimulus that's going live this week, yes, there's money available for you now. Also, the fifth stimulus package update of 2021, that is the SSI reform and that big money. And there's also money in there for single individuals. But also in this recording, I'm going to be going over the controversy of what's brewing today with Dogecoin. And I want to start with something very front up center and on front. I want you to understand that if you have not purchased Dogecoin by the time of this recording, do not buy it. Do not buy Dogecoin if you have not bought it at the time of this recording. You're going to get burnt, and it's going to end very badly. I'm going to be going over what's going on with Dogecoin and why it defies all logic and why people are buying it for the wrong reason, and ultimately why it may ultimately collapse the cryptocurrency because of its own antics. That's coming up later in this recording. But let's go to the fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check got an interesting series of pushes today from different ways. Remember, the corporate tax rate change is what supports the pay-fors for the fourth stimulus check. Yesterday, you heard me go on air and tell you that Representative Richard Neal, who's head of the House Ways and Means Committee, does not support the pay-for the fourth stimulus check. It doesn't mean he doesn't support the monthly stimulus checks. He doesn't support the corporate tax rate change. Well, a new report out today that says 60% of Americans polled do not support the president's anticipated move to change the corporate tax rate to pay for the fourth stimulus. And that's before they're even asked about whether they would support changing their personal tax bracket and their capital gains tax bracket to get the fourth stimulus out the door. Let me first go over how much the fourth stimulus check is, when you would get it, who would get it, the eligibility, and then let me go over the breaking developing news minutes ago that signals we need this to go out ASAP because the financial markets is seen softening. Yes, softening of the economy, not rebounding. Oh boy. All right, so the fourth stimulus check is a monthly stimulus check that would start in the month of July. And there are two proposals on how to do it. Jump into the live chat and tell me if you support the House proposal or the Senate one. First, the House one. The House members, Jalapil and Talab, have introduced the bill that provides how they would pay for it. $2,000 a month for the first month and then $1,000 every month thereafter, but a lot of months. They would pay a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic and then 1 year thereafter. So let's say we got 4 more months of this pandemic, then 4 months plus 12 months thereafter. So they provide a lot of months of stimulus checks. The senators, on the other hand, provide stimulus checks from now to December. The House members are progressives. The Senate members are more moderate. And then we've already seen the amount of those checks from the House members. Oops, wrong graphic. House members provide the first month would be $2,000, second month would be $1,000, and $1,000 thereafter. The senators, the amount is unknown, but word on the street is this. Word on the street is the stimulus check amount from the senator's point of view is $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. Who gets this? You do. You do. So if you got the third stimulus, you would get the fourth stimulus. Let me go over all the details about that right now. If you make less than $75,000, you get it. $150,000 or less, married couple, you get it. Just double the amount of the check. Family of 4 or less, you get it. Just 4 times the amount of check. And then if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, you get as well. It's not income. It's not taxable. It would not disqualify you from benefits. And we know nothing about child support taken out for it or not taken out for it yet, just yet. It's too early in the equation. We wouldn't know the senator's actual desired monthly amount until the final 24 hours before around the first week of July, because that's when it would go into the vote-a-rama. And that is that 2-day event in which the senators introduce the amendment to provide the amount that they want on the monthly basis. That is when we would see that amount to occur. The first month you would be paid is the month of July, for the month of July, and then the month of August continuing thereafter. And there you go. Very easy breezy to understand. Later on today's recordings, I'm going to go over the process by which they get forced stimulus to the finish line, the reconciliation process. But what I want to go over is the surprising financial news that came in minutes ago from Wall Street. And boy, it's not good news. It's poor news. It shows softening of this economy. So here we go. First, the private payroll number came in minutes ago, the private payroll number, which shows how many jobs were created, and the number missed estimates. Wall Street is expecting 800,000 private payroll jobs being created. It came in at 742. It is better than the month before, 565. Trade, transportation, utilities increased the most, 155,000 new jobs. Professional business services added 104,000, and education and health added 92,000. The recovery among big companies and small companies was well fed, so it was broadened. 500 or less employees led with 277,000 new jobs, but less than 50 employees had 235,000 new jobs. This Friday is a big number. You got to stay with me this Friday, because Friday we see the April non-payrolls number, which is expected to be 1 million jobs. Now, that's that number. That is that number that I have been talking about for a month, because it's a monthly number. I told you that last March we added 1 million jobs. And the same day I told you that number, which was a Friday, it's always on a Friday, for the month of March, I said some analysts were thinking that maybe we would add 2 million jobs for the month of April. And I said my concern is the opposite concern, which you just heard in this video, which is we're recovering too fast, and that the recovery may occur before they get the stimulus checks to a vote. Let me recap where we are. 1 million jobs, there are 8 million jobs missing. 8 million jobs missing since pre-pandemic. We restored 1 million in the month of March. Okay. The estimates for Friday's number is another million. That's fine. That's fine. We're not going to... 1 into 8 means it takes 8 months to restore this economy. That's not July. That's this winter. We're good. But there was that report a month ago that said the number coming in this Friday will be 2 million and not 1 million. We got to watch this number, folks, Friday. Because if the number's 2 million, that 2 into 8 is 4 months. 4 months from now is this summer, means the jobs could be restored by the summer. And this is one of the big concerns about getting stimulus done before the jobs are restored. Remember, you want stimulus to be out the door before jobs are restored. Jobs not being restored is among the concerns that I've expressed on this channel. The speed issue for getting forced stimulus out the door. If jobs are restored before they get forced stimulus out the door, it is an issue. So we're watching like a hawk, for Friday's number, because boy, that is going to be a big one. Now, that is the first financial data that came out today. Second financial data that came out today was the mortgage numbers, and they were bad as well. So new mortgage applications fell by 1% from the previous week. Mortgage applications to purchase a home fell 3% because there's no incentive to make a move. Demand for mortgage refis was essentially flat. And then finally, the corporate race to the bottom. This is forced stimulus. Remember, you heard in the top of this recording that the president proposes to pay your monthly stimulus checks by fixing a race to the bottom. What does a race to the bottom mean? It means that the president is trying to get world leaders of other countries to all agree upon what is called a universal corporate tax rate, which means that the same corporate tax rate is apparent in every country. I told you it was never going to happen last month. And guess what? Janet Yellen's still talking about it. And guess what happened? A new report says the other countries are saying, go pound sand. We're not doing it. You're America. We don't listen to America. We do what we want to do. We're a different country. And so the new report says that the attempt to get a global corporate tax rate is not working. They're not getting support from foreign countries. Janet Yellen says she's trying still, but they're not going to listen to her. They're not going to listen to her. So that is where we are on forced stimulus. Coming up in the second half of this recording, I'm going to go over what's happening with fifth stimulus and also that big money coming for third stimulus in your bank account. But let me cut now to Dogecoin. I have to tell you right off the bat, I look out for your interests, and I've been around this pony show more than one time. I've been to this rodeo more than one time. I'm not a YouTuber who just started turning on a mic and talking about stocks. I've been to this rodeo for many, many years, and I have an education in it, and I understand how these things work. There is a problem at hand with Dogecoin, and let me tell you what the problem is. The problem is that people are confusing gambling with investing. There is one thing called gambling, and there's another thing called investing. If you have funny money, as I would often call it, funny money, just, $100 sitting around, you walk up to a slot machine, you're like, I want to just play the slot machine. It's fun. I want to put $100 in the slot machine, see if I make money. Oh, I made money. Good. I don't care if I lost the money. It's funny money. It's just fun money. I'm just playing around with the fun money. That's fine if you go into Dogecoin initially thinking it's fun money. But along the way, the message has been lost. And now people are thinking that Dogecoin is an investment option, is an investment mechanism. It is categorically not. It is not a place to put your money for short-term investment or long-term investment because you will get burned. You will get burnt. It's not based upon any financial data of why it goes up or why it goes down. It's just going up and down because it's a gambling mechanism. And what's important for you to understand is that if you have bought Dogecoin before and you still have the position, congratulations. Enjoy the run. Have fun and enjoy the run. But do not buy Dogecoin today at these levels. Dogecoin yesterday was 40 cents. Today it's pushing 70 cents. 3 days before that, it was 23 cents. Days before that, it was 1 cent. It is not going up because it posted corporate earnings, because it had a new corporate contract to deploy new machinery. It is simply going up because people are having fun, having things go up. Things don't just go up because they just go up, because everything that goes up ultimately goes down. And here's what you need to know. Is that if you do have a position in Dogecoin and you've had that position for a while, I want you to understand my next message very clearly. When it starts to fall and when you think that the fall is happening, many of the online provider apps may lock up. They may not have you able to get out of the position at the speed in which you want to get out of the position. There's a very big difference between brokerage houses that have massive computer systems that have been in operations for hundreds of years and online apps that do not. And when you try to get out, I'm warning you right now, you may not be able to get out as fast as you want to get out, or at the price rate you want to get out, and you're going to have to rush to the door to get out the door. It's like a house that's burning and there are people jumping in front of you. You're rushing for the door. The current trading up of Dogecoin defies all logic and is based upon an appearance by Elon Musk on Saturday Night Live this Saturday, which unto itself is the most ridiculous thing to even say, that people would buy a position based upon someone's appearance on television. That is not an investment mindset. It's simply a gambling mindset. And while people have been on social media and said, hey, I bought it at 1 cent, I've made, $10,000, I made $20,000, understand this. You haven't made the money until you actually have the money. So until you actually sell the position, you do not have the money. That is investor 101, that until you actually get out of the position, you don't have the money. And that while it may be fun to see that it was 40 cents, you bought it this weekend at 25 cents, and now it's 70 cents today, that may be fun. I want you to understand it is not a place for investments, and it is not a place to put your money or your savings. It is only funny money, and that is it. Here's the other outset of what's going on today with Dogecoin. Dogecoin could ultimately implode the entire perception of cryptocurrency. Dogecoin has taken a front seat of the whole press push for crypto over the last few days, that now, if it goes very badly, which it eventually will, it could hurt the imagery of crypto across the board. And especially hurt the confidence of people that may buy in at 60 cents. Because trust me, there are people who bought in at 40 cents because that's why it's 70 cents today. And when they can't get out, and when they sell at 30 cents and lost their money, they may be burnt and may never want to go near crypto, which unto itself may be a very good investment in the future, but not in the case of Dogecoin going up 111,000 gazillion percent in just a few days. So that is what you need to know. If you have not bought Dogecoin, don't buy Dogecoin. If you have it, enjoy the run. It's fun money. And don't consider it an investment vehicle. It is not. All right, let's cut back to the other big money, which you can get and without crypto, and that's third stimulus money. There's a lot of third stimulus money that's going live, and let me go over all those details right now. Third stimulus has a lot of money that Biden provided for you in the third stimulus package, and that money is now landing across the board. Let's go over each of them one at a time. $1,700 to college students. Yes, reach out to your college advisor to get that $1,700. Second, $5,000 to $10,000 in rent. Yes, all the money for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners assistance has now landed in your cities and counties and states this week. It's landing at different intervals, so go get it. It is money for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners assistance. Every city and county and state have different divisions, so reach out to your city hall, your city housing authority, county hall, county housing authority, state hall, state housing authority to get the money. If you don't like the qualifications or don't think you're qualified for it, then reach out to a nonprofit like United Way, Salvation Army, Community Actions, and St. Vincent de Paul. If you're having problems finding the money, reach out to the community volunteers, which I have at the commercial break in this video. Next, also now live, of course, is the 1 year of 15% increase of SNAP benefits. What's SNAP? It is food. If you made less than $75,000 a year, you can go get it. If you're on SSI and SSDI, you can go get it. Reach out to Department of Agriculture. That's Department of Agriculture to get on SNAP. And it's incredible. A family of four in Hawaii would normally get $1,400 a month, but now they're getting a 15% increase, which pays them upwards of almost $16,000 a year. Look at this. We got $5,000 for rent and a couple $100 or $1,000 for utilities. Then we got money for SNAP. This alleviates financial burden on your household and allows you to have extra money to buy other things. Let's say a medical procedure for your daughter or to fix the truck in the driveway. This clears up your bills so you have free cash flow available for other items. Also going live this week is the returning of the money for unemployment, the returning of the money for the money that's starting to go live for the children, and then the business grants. I'll have all that incredible big money that's going live this week and ensure you get that money. I'll have all the details about how much it is and where you get it after this commercial break, and also the big updates about fifth stimulus and SSI reform. Stay with me. I'll be back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And you're currently watching Mornings LALATE at an earlier time slot this morning because of the breaking news. Coming up at noontime at 2 p.m. is the latest from Wall Street to Main Street and more about your fourth stimulus. And then afternoons LALATE is that Q&A show I adore in which you bring your questions about anything from third to fourth to fifth stimulus, and I answer your questions live on air. And then after that, we go into our tape shows after that. How are you? It's a big morning. The toast is toasting. The butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, and I'm so excited you to join me. A lot of breaking news across the board, and if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you're new to this channel, this is LALATE, the most comprehensive financial news channel, reporting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No one reports 24/7 like I do. Live shows in the morning, tape shows later in the evening, and then a humor show at the end of the night. So consider becoming a member. Consider becoming a subscriber. And if you're a new subscriber, say hi. Hi, I'm new here. And if you are an old-time subscriber, invite the new subscribers. Say hello, how are you, where you're from. Meantime, like this video. Let's try to do 3,000 likes. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Fourth stimulus, if you're just joining me, is the single biggest payout you'll ever see in the history of this channel. And the House members and the Senate members both have monthly stimulus checks. They both start in the month of July. And then the amount of the stimulus checks would go by vote-a-rama if the senators added in there. But these are big payments of checks, and these are the single biggest payouts you've ever seen in the history of this channel. The speed to get the stimulus checks out the door is very critical in lieu of the confusing data that came out today where we saw that there is incredible softening in some parts of this economy, but also worries about Friday's jobs numbers being too strong. This would pay you $2,000 a month over 6 months or $12,000. This is for one person. Or $1,400 a month over 6 months or for one person, or $8,400. This is if you are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, single and individual, married couple, adult dependents, and children get the same stimulus check amount as well. So now let's turn to fifth stimulus, which is just very exciting. Fifth stimulus follows the same path as fourth stimulus, just at a different time of the year. The fifth stimulus heats up this fall, and we know the details about what's going to be added in there. It's going to be added in there by those Senate and House Democrats. What is it? Let me broadly tell you what it is, and then I'm going to go over the details. They're going to increase your benefits levels, add an asset limit, remove the asset limit, then add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and then remove the marriage penalty. Now let me go over the details of how this money works. I've seen some of your great questions and comments in the last few hours, so I'll be incorporating them into my coverage right now. So if you are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, SSA, Social Security survivor benefits, your benefits would be raised up to a new number. That would be your new number. And it doesn't matter if you've been on benefits for many, many years, that would be your new number. Then they would tie your benefits to a new benchmark, and it's called inflation. Yesterday, Janet Yellen, Jerome Powell, all spoke about inflation. Well, guess what? If inflation goes up, your benefits go up. Great news. Then they're going to remove the asset cap. The asset cap dates back to the 1980s. It says you can't keep more than $3,000 on hand. So they're going to remove that asset cap and allow you to keep assets on hand. Then they're going to remove the income cap that dates back to a 1962 law that says you can't work and also stay on benefits. They're going to remove that cap so that if you want to work, you can. $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, you can do it and keep it on benefits. Finally, they're going to remove the marriage penalty. If you're a victim of the marriage penalty or seen the marriage penalty looming, then you know what it is. If you don't know about it, then it's probably not affecting you. This is the marriage penalty for people who currently suffer from it, and the marriage penalty for anyone that would suffer for it in the future. It would literally go away. So when would this happen? This would happen around November because the fifth stimulus would go for a vote in October. Would start by recon September, October, and be done around late October, early November. This is the same process as the fourth stimulus. Instead of stimulus checks being added, they would add in SSI and SSDI reform. Now, ironically, LA Late Night at night is a humor-only broadcast. And last night what happened on air was I actually ran a video of the press secretary as a cold read, meaning I had never seen the video before I ran it during that taping. And during the taping, she was asked about something that is in the fifth stimulus. And the question from the reporter was, why did the president promise on the campaign trail to provide 2 years of subsidized tuition for families for college students? And his question is, why have you removed it from the fifth stimulus package proposal? The press secretary went with the question and said, yeah, but we're providing other stuff. It was really a bizarre moment for this channel because guess what? It is included in the fifth stimulus package. The press secretary did not look down and did not look at her notes, but she was asked, why is this excluded when it's actually included? This is why you need to be a member of this channel, people, because the members of this channel every day get a list of what the president proposes to put in the fifth stimulus package. And that item is halfway down the list. $39 billion to provide 2 years of subsidized tuition for families who make less than six figures enrolled in a historically black college, tribal university, or any other type of institution. So yeah, it's in there. She was asked, why are you removing it? It's important to understand what's in these provisions. And ultimately, it's not a bill. The provisions from the president are only a proposal. Meantime, a message of commentary for myself. VP Harris made a push yesterday for Americans to get small business relief. I just think this is ridiculous. Why? Because the small business relief is not being extended on the fourth stimulus. Yes, so fourth stimulus has a lot of money out there for small business relief right now, but it's not the type that was supposed to be out there. Let me go over what's going on. The Shuttered Venue Grant went live last Friday at sba.gov. Go apply for it. The Restaurant Grant went live last Friday at sba.gov. Go apply for it. The PPP grant has been extended by executive order. But the EIDL grant of $5,000, which is in the actual third stimulus law, is not being provided to small businesses. Where is that relief, VP Harris? And the remainder of the $10,000 grant from 2020 is not being paid to people in some cases. In other cases, they are getting it. Where is that money, VP Harris? Meantime, the fourth stimulus is slated not to continue any of these business assistance. So I just think it's sort of talking one side of the mouth. Fourth stimulus is not slated to continue any of these business grants, and people are still not getting a penny for their business grants that are owed from 2020. So I just don't think it's good to go out talk about stuff when you don't deliver. Then what's also really incredible news is that there is some items being delivered this week. So the first wave of unemployment refunds is coming this week. Let me explain who's getting what and who's not getting anything. If you filed a 2020 tax return and paid taxes on the first $10,200 to the federal government of your unemployment, you're getting a refund of the amount of taxes you paid to the federal government. Just the taxes you paid. So let me explain what that means. Let's say you had $9,000 of unemployment in 2020. You paid a tax bill to the federal government of $5,000, of which $1,000 of it was for your unemployment that you paid to the federal government. You're getting $1,000 back from the federal government. You're not getting $5,000 back, and you're not getting $9,000 back, which is what some incorrect YouTubers are saying across the board, that you're getting $10,000 from the federal government. Not happening. Also, if you have not filed your tax return and you did take out for federal taxes every week when you got your unemployment benefits, you got to file that tax return and request that money back. You can't sit back and do nothing. And finally, if you did not take out for taxes and did not file your tax return, you need to file your tax return and certainly not pay taxes on that amount. Reach out to a tax preparer for advice on this subject. Then, for people who have children, that money starts to land in the month of July. But now, just a few days from now, you got to get the tax return on file to ensure you get that money. Here's what's at issue. To get the $3,600 or $3,000 a month, $3,600 or $3,000 paid proration per month starting the month of July, two things must have occurred. You made less than $75,000 last year, and you have a child IRS knows about. Here are two situations where you absolutely need to file a tax return. One, that you never file tax returns, so they don't know the child exists. You gotta file a tax return. They don't know the child exists, they're not gonna pay you. Second, you do file tax returns, but they don't know the child exists for whatever reason is happening. Maybe the child was just recently born. So you need to file that tax return and tell them that child exists and get that tax return on file, which is in a couple of days from now. Finally, one permutation which just came to my mind, which I've never said before on this channel, which is, let's say your 2019 tax return was $120,000 income, single individual, but in 2020 you only made $40,000. Well, now you will qualify for that child money. You would not have qualified for that child's money under your 2019 tax return. So you got to get that tax return on file, meaning that IRS is looking at the most recent tax return. And if they see you disqualified, not eligible because you made too much money on the most recent tax return, get the most recent tax return on file if it shows you are qualified. Meaning if 2019 you made too much money, but 2020 you made under the threshold, then get that 2020 return on file ASAP, not only because you're also required to file it. And there you go. It's a big morning of Mornings LA with so much happening across the board. Let me give you the recap of the things that you need to know. Forced stimulus is heating up, and that push to get forced stimulus to the finish line is underway. A series of economic data came out today shows softening of the economy in some regards, but I'm worried about Friday's number. Friday's number will show whether the economy is rebounding at a faster rate. That rebound at a faster rate is the biggest worry of this channel. Also making news is Dogecoin, and boy, I want you to stay away from it. If you have not bought it. If you have not bought it, do not buy it. It is not an investment option. I'm going to see you in just a little bit. I'll be back at for noontime at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then afternoons LA at 4 p.m. And then we continue with our tape shows, afternoons LA at 6 p.m. For some reason, the afternoons 6 p.m. show, people have not been tuning in, but joining to evenings LA. I want you to know that I'm splitting the content between afternoons and evenings. So don't just tune into evenings and miss afternoons, because you may miss some very important content, because I'm splitting the content between the two shows. And then LA Late Night, which did really well last night in the numbers. Thank you so much. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I want you part of this community, and I want you part of this family. 400,000 subscribers in 1 year, to the moon. No one has ever done that. It's a YouTube record. Let's keep it going. Subscribe. I want you part of this community. fastest growing and kindest community there is. Also, like this video. I want you to help get this video to the #1 ranking, 3,000 likes. Let's do it. And consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and in the pinned comment across the board. You know, we started the weekend with Dogecoin at, I don't know, 30 cents. It had pulled back one day, went down to 20 cents, and then came in at 40 cents yesterday, and today it's 70 cents. We'll go to $1 by the end of the weekend, by Saturday Night Live's broadcast. Certainly, I think it will. Should you be buying in now? No. No. Should you hold it if you still have it? Yeah, you should still hold it if you have it. But if you bought it on an app platform, and you have that app platform on your phone, please watch that phone morning, noon, and night, because it's going to crash. It is going to crash. And if you think you've made money, remember, you haven't made money till you sell. And when you sell, be comfortable that you had fun with this run and that you had that one-time opportunity across the board. And with that, stay informed, stay smiling, keep on trucking, and stay with LA for more.